Kane and Taker.
Welcome to the Elbow Drop Podcast. Hi, guys, on the Bony Horn Beast Mode Bones. Below me is Trev, who actually showed up for work again. We actually don't start calling him Trev instead of Xerox because he's acting like he wants to be part of the team again.
Oh, fuck. Are we going?
Yep, that's exactly how I did it.
I got some devastating. No, never mind. Not devastating. I got big news in my local life right when that started, so I completely missed that you were starting. Hi, everybody.
Well, thank you for making sure not to fucking tell me it's devastating, Trev.
It's devastating to the social group, not like my parents died or something.
This is the second time you fucked me up today. I just want to let you know. That's an inside joke I suppose everyone will get. And also I have with me to my... Is that my right to everybody? Or is that my left?
It's your left, everybody.
It's your left.
Because it's my right. Okay. Yeah, to my left?
Yeah.
What?
Ted Van Dam.
What's up, man?
Which is what I have to call him contractually.
What's up, man?
I mean, he makes me call him by his slave name now.
Yeah, right. I think it's the opposite.
So Randy was supposed to be here, but that bitch ass nigga did not show up. Or tell us why he wasn't showing up. And all of this shit is tailored for us to argue with Randy. So I don't know how this shit gonna go. Ain't nobody watching yet, which is cool because I don't know how this shit about to go no way. So, welcome to the Elbow Drop Podcast. And we go straight into this tournament for Randy. The Tag Goat tournament that Randy put together so that Randy can argue for Roca and Perez. I don't even know how you pronounce this guy's name versus Doom. It's not going to take me forever. I'm going to go ahead and make my pick, and you guys can pick or argue whatever you're going to do. If a tree falls in the forest and I'm not there to hear it make a sound, I refuse to say that it beats louder than my subwoofers. So I picked Doom because I don't know who the fuck Rock and Perez is. Even though Randy has made a million arguments about the things they've done on paper, who the fuck are these guys?
Right. I technically agree, but since Randy's not here, Rock and Perez probably had the titles for 10 years. They were the biggest draw when nobody was watching wrestling. And that's probably what Randy would say. If everybody copies these guys and their finisher was the clothesline.
They like to pin people. We wouldn't have pins today if it wasn't.
They were the first team to hook the leg while pinning.
They were so crazy. They had different colored tights. They didn't match. Everybody knew they were tag team partners.
Well, that was fun. So everybody picked Doom.
Everybody picked Doom.
Everybody on this black podcast decided to go with Doom. Cool.
I can't wait till he comes back.
And the Hart Foundation versus the Usos. Ted, you want to go first? It seems like more of your era.
I like the Usos because they look like me. And also that they're in the main event. They're actually in the main event. They were actually involved in the main event for like the longest. They actually had the titles, and they work really dope together. Like the shit they do, and like on the mic, in the ring, they're like the way they work together is kind of crazy. That battle with the New Day specifically comes to mind when it's like they just completing each other's sentences. Don't even look like they practice. They just probably talk like that in real life. But I say the Usos because the Hart Foundation's Brett is corny. Anvil all the way. Brett's kind of corny.
That's my guy though. Trev.
I'm gonna pick the Usos for basically selfish reasons. I don't feel like I have to give the Hart Foundation the credit they should have because I didn't really watch them, but also because the Usos were like arguably one of, if not the best tag team before they even got to being in the best story that wrestling has had in 20 years. And then they were parts of the best story that the wrestling's had in 20 years. So like goats all around.
Okay. So all of that, but also like, I want to throw out there, and I'm trying to look up for the actual factual points that I want to make about how overrated the Hart Foundation are as a tag team. Mm-hmm. They were together for 5 years of actual tag team, maybe 4 years. When you compare the Usos, who were the Usos for like fucking 10 years. 10 years of relevance without having to split or whatever. Not only that, but in a time when nobody give no fucks about tag team wrestling whatsoever. So for them to be putting on like they did with them and the New Day, which is I'm gonna have a fight once I get to these two if they meet. But with them and the New Day, it's like they were a tag team who stayed a tag team, and the Hart Foundation really didn't do as much as people feel like they did. I feel like most of the Hart Foundation's respect is nostalgia. I mean, they were a solid tag team to watch, but in real life, nobody give no fuck about Jim the Anvil, Nia Hart catching that hot tag. Nobody cared. They never did. It was just a Bret Hart vehicle in reality. More so, like the Rockers were less of a vehicle for Shawn Michaels than the Hart Foundation was for Bret Hart. So that's why I picked the Usos. All the stuff y'all said too, obviously.
The one thing the Hart Foundation got is that they got a good song. That guitar is pretty dope.
Yeah, but they want issues better.
But that's it. That's all they got.
See, they want
the Usos.
They still lose because they want issues better.
Yeah. But that guitar just makes me feel kind of.
The only way I would give them the edge is if we were counting that first Usos thing, the play hard in the paint theme music. That was trash.
Yeah. The Uso Penitentiary jam. They win.
All right, that was easy.
Yep.
It's gonna be a quick episode.
Yep.
So we get into the superlatives, and we're gonna be judging everybody for the year so far. So this is gonna be from January up until like right now, basically.
We are we before I talk about it, are we still doing the polls? Are we gonna try to do that?
Yeah, we're gonna make polls and let everybody else get their opinions on the poll.
Yeah, so we have lists of nominees for each of these things that we discussed and have reasons that we picked the nominees, and then we're gonna put up the poll so everyone else can pick their people, and then maybe talk about it next week. We got a lot going on next week, so I don't know what we're gonna do. We should have time
to talk about it, though. We're only gonna have 2 matches. Let's be honest about Money in the Bank. It's only gonna be 2 matches to talk about.
Yeah. Woman's Money in the Bank, man's Money in the Bank. That's gonna be it.
Well, never mind. I'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, so we're gonna start this off with the men's wrestler of the year. The nominees that we had were, let's scroll back: Cody Rhodes, Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay, Drew McIntyre, and Gunther. No surprise here that my little brother says that Ospreay is the wrestler of the year. Absolutely no surprise. Anybody who knows him knows that this is what he was gonna say. Trevor, let you go first, so I won't sound stupid.
I don't want to pick Cody, but I kind of feel like it's Cody right now. Like deep down, I feel like maybe it's Gunther. Ospreay can have. I haven't seen many of Ospreay's matches, so I can't really say that he's not the best this year. But I feel like becoming the top guy in wrestling right now, like, I'm gonna disappoint you, Jay. I'm not gonna pick Ospreay. So I feel like being the top guy, like, as much as people might be down on Cody right now, he's doing a good job of being the top guy. Like, he's got the draw. His matches have all been good, despite what people have said. I think I've said before, and I'll say again, like, if Cody's not doing it for you right now, after Roman, nothing's going to. Nobody's going to be able to follow it up. And just like, that's a lot of pressure to follow up something like the 4-year reign of Roman Reigns and the Bloodline story. And I think he's doing a great job. And that's like, what else do you really want to ask for in wrestling? I think his bar's really high, and he's at least there. And that gets him at the win for me.
Ted, who you got?
I got you. So it's Cody, Will Ospreay,
Swerve, Will Ospreay, Drew McIntyre, Gunther.
We probably should have picked up these lists ourselves too.
Right. I wanted to be Gunther. I'm sorry, but I wanted to be Gunther. But I really do, because he powerbombed the dude on top of another dude, and on top of another. It was like the greatest thing I've seen. That was like my favorite moment. They were big dudes. They weren't little dudes. And the other guy, Drew McIntyre, is my other pick. It's like that dude got so dope on the microphone. It's like every time he talks, it's like before Punk showed up, he was probably the most entertaining dude without the belt. And Will Ospreay, about that guy. I mean, he's a talented guy, Jason Lee, and but he's not MJF. So there's that. But and Swerve, I haven't seen too much of Swerve, but and Cody's doing a great job. But if I had to pick, MJF isn't on the list. I think it's or Sting. It's probably gonna be Cody because I think he's doing a great job being champion. I agree with Trev. Yeah, you're right. But Cody's doing a great job being champ. He was actually like the babyface. He was acting like the champ before he had the belt. He was at every press conference. He was hugging all the babies, doing everything. And now that he has the belt, this just seems more fitting. And people hated Roman when he had the belt, and now that he's gone, they miss him. They're gonna do the same thing with Cody. You can't make these people happy. It's the same fans that cheer John Cena at house shows and then boot him in the live events. It's the same fans.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me personally, if Cody Rhodes had died the day after WrestleMania, I would still be giving him this award. Just the way he did from January to WrestleMania itself is enough for me to give him the rest of the year itself. I have to address this comment. No way Drew has had a better year than Ospreay. Well, if you only focus on the matches and match quality that people have, yeah, I would give it to you. Ospreay had a better year, but why would that be the only thing that you focus on? Like, as far as being relevant, important, and entertaining, because there's only so many times I can listen to Ospreay say "bruv." It's only so many times. One person says Gunther for Wrestler of the Year. Cody. I love Gunther so much. I can't really downplay him at all to like make an argument against that. But it's Cody. Not only that, because after Cody with his belt has done better than anybody else can do, he's given AJ Styles a breath of fucking life and made him relevant enough to make sense in the title picture, which AJ Styles hasn't been relevant enough to make sense in the title picture. Mm-hmm. He's done that. He had the match with fucking Brass Knuckle guy. What's Brass Knuckle guy getting?
Brass Knuckle guy, Logan Paul.
Yeah. I was like, William Regal?
Not Bad Bunny.
William Regal.
The guy who is not Bad Bunny. He has a match. That's why I stand with that. So yeah, we all three pretty much completely agree about Cody. I'm pretty sure that if Randy was here, it'd be different.
I will say, I think in 6 months, if Gunther ends up winning the belt at SummerSlam, which I hope and think he's going to, I think is going to be a completely different conversation.
He's going to elevate the shit out of that belt.
I think he's going to do great if he gets that. But for now, it's Cody by a little bit.
Yeah, and he's been missing since WrestleMania, but rightfully so. He's an attraction now. Like that dude.
Cool with him.
I don't care that he's gone. But, he comes back to say hi.
Give me one match with Cody besides Roman that was more high profile than any banger Gunther put on. I'm not sure you understand what high profile means, but the last Cody Rhodes match was more high profile than like every Gunther match. High profile? Yeah, like every match Cody has had since Roman has been more high profile, and before Roman, and he had the tag team match. Won the Royal, like everything Cody's done has been more high profile than Gunther. I don't think that's like the argument you want to use.
I agree with that. Everything Cody does is important. Like he does like there's no wasted matches. It's like everything means something. I don't know, like
even just coming out and talking.
Yeah, that's true. He did like a thing that went viral. Like he did like that what's it called? That the Bullet Club shit. What he tried to do that shit with AJ. Did with Michael Cole. I saw that shit went viral. That's all he did. It was like the press conference. It was important. You know what I mean?
All right. And for Women's Wrestler of the Year, our nominees are Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, Liv Morgan, Bayley, and Jordynne Grace. I had a hard eye roll at the fact that Bayley is even on this list because it's hard to. Bayley was in a high-profile feud, and it's hard to even remember that she was in a high-profile feud because of how much that entire thing floundered. It was the only good point of that was the turn, which wasn't even that good. More so, what was good about that was the anticipation to her turning. rather than her turn, rather than the match they had that, rather than the feud they had that. Every match she's had that has felt like it didn't matter at all. I don't understand why Bayley's here. I'm more mad about Bayley being here than I want to talk about who I want to pick. But if I had to pick between these women, that's why I really wish Randy was here. But if I had to pick between these women, my pick would be Toni Storm. I don't know how many AEW picks you're going to get out of me or any non-WWE picks you're going to get out of me, honestly. But Toni Storm has been carrying obviously the most entertaining person in AEW.
Yeah.
If not the most entertaining to you, she's top 3. Even if you don't like her, she's top 3. Their women's division has been trash and a joke for so long. It's only every so often when you get one woman who shines like that. Like it was Britt Baker for like a few months. So now we got Toni for much longer. It's running that Toni Storm is carrying. So I can't give anybody else Women's Wrestler of the Year. Clearly, I can't give it to Rhea Ripley because Rhea Ripley is you would be giving her Women's Wrestler of the Year based on her not being a women's wrestler, but more so being her, but based on her being a valet. Ted?
Man, honestly, dude, I think out of all those females, like I honestly wouldn't pick one personally from that list. But if I had to pick from that list, I would say Jordynne Grace, honestly, because I've never heard. I don't watch TNA ever, like at all. I don't know anybody on TNA besides that dude that sings, and this girl Jordynne Grace, and like the shit she's been doing is mad impressive. Like I watched that shit with Naomi, or what I don't know her name was when she was in TNA. Was that last year or this year?
You talking about Trinity?
Trinity, yeah. When like that match was mad dope. She went to the Royal Rumble, and then she like the shit that she does outside of her job, like wrestling other places, got my attention. And she looks like she can like hurt everybody. You know what I mean? She has that look like, yo, that's like a China bitch. You know what I mean? That's a bitch that will fuck you up. So and women's wrestling in WWE, like it's interesting. The storyline's good, but I don't remember no matches like in WWE at all. And I can't say I don't know enough about Toni Storm to say anything. So I just saw that one interview she had, but I don't know anything about her to say that she's the best or not. But I say Jordynne Grace to be, as far as wrestling, like she's caught my attention just for her wrestling. And I don't watch TNA at all. That's why I say Jordynne Grace.
Everybody's saying the opposite because they watch TNA.
TNA fans are putting me in my spot, I guess. Yeah. Well, let me know. I don't know. I would like to find out.
Trev?
Okay, before I give my pick, I really wanted to bring this up. Again, I wish that Randy was here. We had a whole argument in the chat when we were picking these nominees. Nia Jax should have been nominated.
Right. Yeah.
Nia Jax, I'm not going to name any names, but got specifically turned down by one person who isn't here. If anyone has been following the Elbow Drop or the BWO for a while, you all should know I hate Nia Jax. She might be my least favorite wrestler, but this has been a crazy year from her. The best she's ever done. I don't know if I would pick her for top women's wrestler, but she absolutely should at least be in the running.
Absolutely belongs in the conversation, especially if we got Bayley in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm a Bayley advocate. I need to point that out too. I'm an advocate of Bayley. If anybody is, it's been me fighting Bobby about how good Bayley is. It's not Bayley's fault either that she ain't had shit to do, but Bayley ain't had shit to do, and I can't. If I went off of just skill and not what they actually let you do, then I would be right now telling y'all why Bianca Belair deserves to win this every year.
I'm surprised.
So you, for a minute, talked me out of Rhea Ripley by saying if I picked her, it would solely be on ballet. But I thought about it, and I haven't seen any Toni Storm matches. So if I picked her, it would solely be off of promos. And to me, that's basically the same thing. And Rhea Ripley has at least one match that I think was good. So I'm going to pick Rhea Ripley, partly because I just have loved everything she's done up until Mania, and partly because I don't really care as much about this category.
You always come off.
If anyone wants to tell me I'm wrong, I'm completely fine accepting that.
You come off as sexist on this podcast so often.
Only because you keep saying I'm sexist.
Somebody got to point it out.
No, they don't. Nobody has to say
doing
it. What is this 5? Okay, 6. Next, we go on to match of the year, for which, for some reason, we decided to have 35 fucking nominations. And we're not going to talk about most of them, but let's go ahead and knock out all 35 of these nominations that Randy gave us. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson at Dynasty. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Sting's last match. Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland at Forbidden Door. Gunther versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Bryan Danielson versus, I cannot say his first name, Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. Bayley versus Io Sky at WrestleMania for some reason. Cody versus AJ Styles in France. Obi Femi versus Dijak versus Josh Briggs at Stand and Deliver. The women's North American title match on the ladders. I could eliminate like 13 of these fucking categories. I mean, these fucking shit. I'm going to talk about too. Hey, by the way, Ted, you weren't there when we argued about this. Do you think that Sting's last match needs to be in this category?
I mean, no. I mean, I'm the biggest Sting mark. I was Sting like every year for Halloween until now.
This man such a big Sting mark that he was the Surfer Sting.
Why is that funny? I don't get it.
That's how big of a Sting mark he is. He
Man,
doesn't get why that's funny.
I know, right? I really don't.
I'd like to point out as well, because Bobby's not here also. Bobby is also the biggest Sting fan. He also said it shouldn't be on the list.
Yeah, I mean,
I have to get pants because the mosquitoes that came in here.
like it was like I will point out like Sting's son, like Mr. Stinger Splash.
Legitimately, that's all I know about that match is that his kid showed up as different versions of him.
Yeah, it's like he jumped mad high and then he just went like he just landed way too early. It's like, oh, that looks so bad. Like, I mean, yeah, dude. It's like, would you put anybody's last match? Like, it's always sad. They're usually just putting the other guy over. It Sting's like the only guy that did it. So it kind of shouldn't belong on there.
I literally just threw on some pants.
I mean, we don't have to like. I was gonna say we don't have to talk about it. We've talked about it more than any of the other matches already.
Yeah, we did.
We can just pretend it's not nominated. Randy's not here.
There's a whole bunch of matches on here. Actually, I feel the exact same about. I just wanted to make sure I pointed that one out because we have Ted here, who's the Stingest fan. Who's the only? He's such a big Sting fan. He knows what Sting looks like without makeup. He's such a big Sting fan. But one Halloween, he went as Sting with the Sting mask on.
I went with a Sting mask, and then took it off. I was still Sting.
That's actually kind of dope. That one's good. I like that.
That's what Sting does. Yeah. He disguises himself as himself. Yeah,
I win as Sting, going as Sting.
So, as far as the actual match of the year, well, y'all go ahead. Go ahead, Trev, you go first.
Okay, I want to give a personal shout out to Obafemi and Dijak and the other guy. Jay, stop. I want to give a shout out to that because I was at WrestleMania weekend and that was maybe one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. The match was great, but it's Cody and Roman. I mean, you can't. That's like the perfect. Like that's the definition of a perfect wrestling match. And someone's gonna say Jay's gonna say it's Ospreay again for the 5th time, but like that Cody and Roman had all of the things that the other ones didn't. I assume somebody else is gonna talk about it, so I'm not gonna say everything, but it was great.
Ted?
There's a lot of choices here, but it's definitely not Sting's last match. I mean, really, that's how can you not say Cody or Roman? That was like a whole year build up for that. Everybody was really mad at The Rock. They were trying to kill his daughter. And you know what I'm saying? It's like I was really emotionally invested in that shit. Like I was angry at The Rock. I think I sent him a couple of angry texts, DMs. Not for wrestling, but for fucking up the DC universe. But yeah, you can't say anything different. It was like a whole year build-up. It's like it almost seemed like, if in retrospect, that Cody lost at the other WrestleMania just to make this one even better.
Like, it felt like when you
get with is it on purpose? It's like, what is that? It's like that's crazy.
It felt like when you first get with a chick and she's so fine and you want to smash and you have to wait like 3 months. It felt like the end of that 3 months.
Right. Exactly, man. It's like this is it. This is it. And imagine
Cody-
it's a year, not 3 months.
2
We're
years.
waiting to nut for a
Realistically,
year.
it was 2 years for me because he came out after the Mania. He came back and had that entire speech. And I was like, you know what? I don't give no fucks about nothing else or nobody else. Cody Rhodes has to beat Roman Reigns. I don't want nothing else. If anybody else beat Cody Rhodes at this point, it's like if anybody else beats Roman Reigns at this point, it's not Cody Rhodes. I retire from wrestling and I will be all elite.
And that was like halfway into Roman's reign. Like,
So
it just kept going. That was before like the bloodline even hit the peak. Also,
right. So it just
it
built.
all just kept getting better.
So
His titty fell off.
you got that. And then
Yeah.
his titty fell off.
His titty fell off, man. He wrestled a match still. People were mad at him. I remember people being angry at that dude for leaving AEW. And then his titty fell off. Everybody forgave him. It's like, damn, he still wrestled. I like that guy. His whole titty fell off.
I wish Randy was here.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 3 levels to this match where it was. I had fun watching the regular ass match that it was up until it became an overbooked motherfucking WCW going right ass match. At a certain point, I didn't even care. I was so into this match that I thought Mox was coming back, and I was excited for it.
I thought that. I don't know why, dude. I thought that too,
nothing
dude.
ever would make me more. Nothing. I never thought anything would make me excited about hearing about Mox unless I was hearing that he had died. The only thing. So I mean, I'm going with Will Ospreay versus Swerve at Forbidden Door.
Oh, you're right. I didn't watch that one yet, but that was probably that one.
No, that match was fucking good.
I'm gonna watch it.
That's
I meant to say
probably.
that too.
I would probably let me look at these guys. Like, if I'm going for a runner-up, Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland is my runner-up. Yes, over the Will Ospreay versus Brain. Will Ospreay over Bryan Danielson was not better than versus Swerve. It just wasn't. Swerve, I guess Swerve just came off. Yes, Jason, that's the Ospreay match I credit, the better one where he ain't do no fucking dumb shit. He ain't no sell no. They didn't start no selling shit with each other. They actually fought like it was a real fucking fight.
And had like some stakes.
So it has stakes. It has stakes. It mattered. And it made Swerve better it made so much more than just let's just have a wrestling match. It was so much more than that. Which is why that match Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson doing gymnastics is not a better match. So we're all in agreement that again, that it's Cody. So we can move on to feud of the year. And that would be Cody Rhodes versus the Bloodline, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, Bayley versus Damage Control for some reason, Sami Zayn / Alpha Academy versus Chad Gable, or Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. Cody Rhodes versus the Bloodline next.
I'd say
Shout out to Drew and Punk. but-
Drew Punk. That's close.
Oh yeah, Drew and Punk. I read all those other ones. I'm sorry, because Drew and Punk deserves. I
Drew
don't want
Punk.
to do that to Drew and Punk. I'm willing to do that to Bayley versus Damage Control and Sammy versus Gable and Mello versus Trick. All 3 of those things.
Yeah, Drew
Like, Sammy
Punk.
versus
That's the
Gable.
most entertaining shit ever. I like that shit a lot.
There's
one?
some ways where I would give it to Drew Punk, but I don't think so.
Yeah, Drew Punk is up there.
Mhm.
Drew Punk made me care about Drew, and that's hard to do. It's hard for me to care about Drew McIntyre.
One reason why Drew and Punk I think doesn't end up getting feud of the half year or whatever so far is because they haven't fought yet. Like, I think it says something for them that they haven't had a match, and it's arguably the best feud of the year.
Right.
That shows
so
how
what?
much they're
'Cause they're
carrying.
not even close to done.
Yeah.
You know, like they may be at like 25% of the way.
Yeah, that first match they have, hopefully at SummerSlam, like it's the bar is really high for that one too because they've done so much for it that like it almost seems like they can't deliver.
Like someone got to die now.
As long as they know, I feel like that match is gonna go because I feel like CM Punk is smart. CM Punk knows he can't do a whole bunch of shit. He don't need to. They don't need to do a bunch of technical or like fucking ridiculous shit. Like they need to do some shit that's gonna make me feel some shit.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, and they're
Feel
both
it.
like
Make me feel
masters
like
at
you
that
hate
now.
each other. You already got me there. But
Mhm.
yeah, so yeah, that's definitely, I guess, our collective runner-up as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right,
that
right.
all that being said, I mean Cody and The Rock was like masterful. Cody and the Bloodline was great, and it led
Mhm.
to
Cody
a
and the
complete
Rock is what
movie at Mania.
Cody
Right,
and the
right.
Rock is what pushes it over the fucking edge.
Yeah.
Like that feud made my daughter hate Maui. It's another level when you make a kid hate a character that she loved, because she's in love with Cody, and she seen that and said, "I don't like that person anymore." That's like, that's the guy who sings "You're Welcome," but I don't like Maui anymore. Obviously, Mad Dog. All right, and we move on to holy shit moment of the year. And what we have nominated is Cody dethrones Roman, The Rock murders Cody, the Wyatt Six debut, Jacob Fatu debut for some reason, Solo turns on Jimmy Uso for some reason, Melo turns on Trick, the Bloodline attacks Paul Heyman, I guess recency, Jack Perry gets set on fire, CM Punk impersonates a referee, and the arrival of the TNA stars in NXT.
We should have gotten rid of like 3 of these. I was busy when this one came up.
I didn't
That
Yeah.
fat
See
needs to
that.
get trimmed.
I didn't even see it. So no,
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu. I don't even remember Jacob Fatu debut no more. Like it just happened. It's
He
not
just,
even like.
he just showed up. Everybody was like, "Oh,
I mean,
he's here."
realistically for me, well, Jack Perry getting set on fire is kind of a holy shit moment for me in the wrong way, because how the fuck is a match this motherfucker gets set on fire and ain't the end?
Mm-hmm.
He come back for some more after getting set on fire, but it's realistically between 2 for me. Well, 3. It's between 2. Cody dethroning Roman and the Y6. It's between those 2. The Rock murdering Cody's up there too, because that was just fucking great. But like, I guess it's just overshadowed by Cody actually beating Roman, which everything is to me, really.
Mm-hmm.
Y6 debut is kind of. I don't have it up there. I don't have it. I guess I'm default. Cody dethrones Roman was like the greatest thing that ever happened.
Well,
Although
mhm.
I clicked on the wrong thing. Although that was a holy shit moment for me, though. Actually, you know what? That's probably my number 2 for the year. If it's just talking about me personally, I don't even know who this motherfucker is. I just found out he was on there and just cut on the NXT to watch him come out and watch people react to him coming out and him do this.
Right. Yo, I don't know why that everybody was so hyped, but I watched like so many videos of that dude, and that's all, that he was smiling, and I'm a fan.
Exactly.
I don't know why. I'm a
We're on
fan,
the
man.
same page.
It's like, this dude is awesome. Sign this man.
So, but yeah, it's Cody dethroning Roman is kind of a generational moment.
Mhm.
Like, I'm glad that I saw that with my kids.
Right.
Like it's one of those moments. Like people, I feel like people who saw Hulk Hogan body slam Andre the Giant at WrestleMania or wherever that was. WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But people who saw that, I feel like this is the same thing, except like, good, like actually good.
Good.
So Trev,
I've still got to give it to the Wyatt Six. I think it was
I'm not mad at that.
just great. And like, if it had just been like them walking out or like having the smoke and doing the whatever, I'd probably be on your side with it. But I think killing Chad Gable for 4 days kind of puts it over the edge a little, and looking like they killed 6 other people, even though it didn't end up being other people.
I'm not gonna take away anything that happened after from the holy shit moment either. So like, I'm with you, because like,
oh yeah, I'd have a whole different conversation if it was
right.
that. But yeah, that debut or repackage, whatever you want to call it, was just like such a great moment that I feel like it puts it a little bit over Cody Roman. But I see what you're saying with Cody Roman, and I agree with a lot of it.
I'm close. Like when you say it, when I think about it, I kind of a little bit want to flip. But I'm gonna stay where I'm at. Ted,
I have to give it to Wyatt Six because I knew Cody was gonna win, or I was gonna stop watching wrestling. It's Cody had to win. You know, it's like it just made no sense if he didn't. But
I felt like that at WrestleMania 39 though, Ted. So I still was
yeah. I thought that was it, but this is the second try. Come on, this would be too crazy. They can't do it 3 years.
The Rock gave it away because he said if you don't do it this time, you'll never get another chance. So
yeah, it's like dumbass Rock.
I give you that.
But in the Wyatt 6, like that actually caught me off guard because like I remember that night on Raw, I thought the end of the shit was Jey Uso and I turned it off, and then someone told me that Chad Gable died. I was like, I watched. I remember. I was like, what the fuck happened on Raw? And it was like, it's like just I was legitimately surprised.
To be fair though, you shouldn't have been surprised.
To see Chad Gable dead, that was crazy.
Oh no, by that, yeah. But I'm talking about
that was because I thought like Chad Gable was dead.
Anything other than like walking out.
It looked like Carmelo was dead, but he might have been just sleeping. I don't know what they did to those people, but that was like the hype of it. And like I'm not gonna say about afterwards, but that one moment I thought it was gonna be way bigger than it is right now. Like I was super excited for the next week. I just like this is gonna be cool, but
that moment was so big that I'm willing to give them like 3 months of doing nothing. Like they can spin their wheels for months, and I'm gonna be like, man, I'm kind of tired of this, but I'm still waiting to see what's gonna happen before I judge it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. They're not gonna lose any goodwill with me. I'm just gonna be like, let's get to the next thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm not. I'm not there right now at all. I don't want to act like we're already tired of it.
I'm just saying it was so good that it could.
If we get interviews until September, I'm fine.
Next one is the Breakout Star, and it's between Braun Breaker, Trick Williams, Obi Femi, Joe Hendry. Didn't appear. Tiffany Stratton, Yota Tsuji, I think, and Willow Nightingale. First and foremost, I don't know who Yota Tsuji is whatsoever.
No.
He's the New Japan guy that Randy put on there. I was expecting him to explain to us
why he's so awesome.
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't even have read that. But yeah, so Breakout Star of the Year. Is it Joe Hendry or is it Braun Breaker? I mean, Oba has been doing some shit.
Tiffany Stratton, she's been impressing the shit out of me. Like that moonsault, legit.
I'm trying to make this a conversation, man. But for me, it's so Braun Breaker that it's not even a conversation. It's not even fucking close. It depends on when you could. Well, I guess it depends on what you consider him breaking out from. Because like Jason's pointing out, Braun Breaker kind of been around for a while.
I was making that point for like an hour when we were doing this, and I got outvoted on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna
before this year, he was a 2-time NXT champion, and I think he already had the tag belts.
Right, because he really hasn't broke out of anything.
Most of his breakout has been the last 3 weeks on Raw, which has been he's already setting himself up as a Raw star. But
yeah, I mean he broke out on the main roster, but that would mean we would have to null and void NXT.
Yeah,
to get to that point. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Joe Hendry. Because who the fuck was Joe Hendry in December? I really don't know where the fuck this dude came from. And if it's all about his theme music, he's had this theme music since 2019.
The GOAT.
I've never heard it before.
Why is he? Yeah, why has this man been hidden from me?
Who was behind this? I watched some stuff he did. He got skits of him making fun of people.
Right, dude. I went down that rabbit hole too. Man.
Why is TNA so bad at marketing? They had gold right there. This could have been the next final deletion that everybody watched.
I didn't even know they had Elias. I had no idea they had Elias. I was like, what?
I didn't know that either.
They had fucking Elias, man. That dude is like.
I think I knew that when it happened, but I cared so little that I don't remember.
Right.
I'm not mad about the Joe Hendry thing at all, but I've been watching him. I watched all that happen as it happened. I've been following him since WCPW, so I'm still completely fine with him getting it, despite personally him not being a breakout to me. I'm gonna give it to Oba Femi though, because that dude kind of just blew up out of nowhere on NXT and is one of my favorite things on that show now. But I'm not mad at the Hendry pick at all. I believe as well.
Song is so good.
All right, and we move on to the worst wrestler of the year, and this is what makes me the maddest that he isn't here to face his fate. Chris Jericho. Nominees for the worst wrestler of the year: Chris Jericho, Jade Cargill, Maxine Dupree, Ridge Holland, Karrion Kross. I hate that we as fans have gotten to a point where we think Jade Cargill and what she's doing it makes her the worst wrestler of the year. There was at no point in 1998 where anybody would have walked up to you and said, "You know who I think is the worst wrestler of the year? Goldberg."
Yeah,
No,
right.
they said some stupid shit to you like that. What the fuck is Jade Cargill? Like, Jade Cargill botches be some real shit though. Like, okay, that's not some shit that like don't make sense. Botches. It's not like fucking Jeff Hardy doing the whisper in the wind and completely missing everybody and niggas still falling. She slips and gets up like she slipped. Okay, she slipped in a motherfucking fight. I can't believe, and I really wish that Randy was here to face his crimes against black women. That's what it comes down to. I'm gonna put on my kufi for this one. Everybody judging her more harshly because she's a black woman, and I mean that, and I mean black people are judging her more harshly because she's a black woman. I feel like if she was a white woman, nobody would care. This is the one time I'm gonna put on my kufi. The one time this year. Kufi moment of the year.
That's
So,
a mean category.
Worst wrestler of the year. So the worst wrestler of the year is Chris Jericho. And I say all that to say the worst wrestler of the year is Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I mean, I don't know enough about any of these. I mean, I think I don't know why Jade Cart. That's crazy. Like, I don't know, but I've heard I don't like to dislike wrestlers, but I've heard a lot of hate about Chris Jericho. You know, like not even watching his matches, but I've heard how people hate him. Where and I'm not watching AEW, I know people hate him, and like go away heat, and so I guess for that it's Chris Jericho, but that makes me sad because I was a Jericho-holic when I was a kid.
I think every match he's had this year has come out with a resounding amount of people saying he shouldn't have wrestled and he needs to leave.
Yeah, he looks. I've watched highlights, or should I say lowlights. He shouldn't be wrestling. Like that's the reality is like. Why are you still here, dude? You've done enough. Go home.
He's 53, man. Did you
Go
see,
home, bro.
You see a picture of him like at 53 versus Hogan at 53? It's crazy. It's like he talks so much shit about Hogan, but Hogan looked like he can fuck him off at 53, dude. Jericho looks kind of bad, man. For a pro wrestler, man, that's your job, dude. What are you doing, man?
All right.
I don't know.
Y'all are on your own for worst match.
Oh man, I don't even know about this.
You know what? I'm not even going nowhere. This will be over in a second. This whole show will be over in a second. Worst match that's for most of non-wrestling. Worst match of the year, we have Chris Jericho versus Hook at Dynasty. The women's triple threat at Clash of the Castle. Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax at Queen of the Ring. Rhea Ripley versus Maxine Dupree on Raw. Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso, I guess. I mean, I don't even... Chris Jericho versus Hook. I didn't even see that right
Yeah,
there.
I didn't. I was about to say. I'm about to say the same shit. Chaz Jr. and Chris Jericho. Yeah, those two motherfuckers.
It's all Jericho's fault. I'm not going to like Chaz Jr.
All for yeah. I'm not gonna put that on the young man.
All right, good talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we don't have much to say about that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if Jay says it's Jericho and Hook, I'll say it's Jericho and Hook. I didn't see it.
I trust Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Best promotion of the year, WWE.
WWE.
No.
All right. Non-wrestler of the year. The nominees are Paul Heyman, Prince Nana, Stokely Hathaway, Samantha Irvin, Pat McAfee.
Paul Heyman.
If you don't agree that's Samantha Irvin, you are racist.
Oh.
I was about to say gay.
I said Paul Heyman twice before that.
I was like,
I would give it to Paul Heyman as the only. It's the only argument here is Paul Heyman or Pat McAfee.
yeah, Paul Heyman
I'm reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Heyman and Samantha Irvin are the only arguments here.
They both cry. That's really hard to do. I mean, they both have been,
The selling that she does when for
they
no reason.
sell the shit out that show for
She
not
makes me
wrestling.
more excited about things than I was when it happened. Like Cody winning, she made me more excited. I want to feel that way too.
I watched Samantha Irving saying that more than Cody holding up the belt. When she's all like cry like
This is the most
Jay, stop.
Stop it.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, when everyone got mad at Samantha, there was like a little thing because people on the internet are actually probably racist, and everyone was like getting mad at her because she gets emotional about matches and stuff. Like how is that a bad thing? Like it's not
Right.
interfering with the match. It's not something where she's like ruining the experience. Like, of course, I want to see someone out there like feel something and like
and it
be
makes
part of it.
sense. If it's like it makes sense, she should feel some way of the fact that Roman Reigns was just dethroned by Cody. And if we're gonna know that Ricochet is her boyfriend, we should see her. Like it would make
yeah.
It would be disrespectful to wrestling itself, like the art of wrestling itself, if she wasn't emotional about things.
Did y'all see that real quick? The chat,
No.
Randy.
Randy?
This dumbass fell asleep.
Nah.
He's trying to show up now. I was gonna say earlier he was gonna wake up to
Yeah. Let him in.
podcast where we trash.
Let him in, and
No!
so we can shit on him.
No, we don't have time for that.
So we can poop on you. Yeah.
Nah, I want him to go ahead and hop on and get cursed out.
I want to hear his dumbass picks.
Yeah, let's just run through his picks real quick,
Just shit on his picks real fast.
including the tournament.
Yeah.